Greetings! Welcome back to another video. Finally, it's time to tackle the intermediate maps, and very first in line is the map Luminous Cove, which I haven't actually blackboarded, so I gotta go ahead and do that, but anyway, we're gonna be doing this on CHIMPS. This is one of my favorite maps in the game. I think it is a very fun map to play. I just really like the layout of it, and I think it's a brilliant way to introduce the mermonkey to the game. Now, naturally, the mermonkey, it was released kind of recently in a way, so I have recently done a strategy with this, and I think what I did was Axis of Mermonkey, if I remember right, but we're gonna be doing things a bit differently because, you know, I don't want to copy the same strat that I did literally, like, fairly recently. So instead, we're going to be going for a different strategy, but naturally, it's still going to be water tower based. We're bringing the Buccaneer, the Sub, Brickell. I'm going to bring one mermonkey as well to the table, so it's going to be fairly standard stuff. But one strategy that I wanted to try out earlier on the Winter Park map that I decided to neglect, but this is a underwater map, so you are kind of expected to use underwater towers here. You would be doing yourself a rather huge disservice if you don't do so. Naturally, you can place down like snipers and stuff here, but you are definitely encouraged to use water-based towers, as there is a lot of water on the map, and not just on the map itself, but on rather beneficial spots, because the Bloons, they come here and they loop around. So if you have stuff in the middle, they will be attacking the Bloons more or less constantly, while if you have stuff that's like, let's say over here, that's gonna be harder to, you're just gonna be attacking at one time, pretty much. So it's definitely a water tower map, and indeed, we are bringing Brickell, we're gonna be bringing the ice tower, we're gonna be bringing a lot of good stuff, so it's gonna be fun. I wasn't sure which strategy to go for, but I decided to go for an Energizer synergy, so that is what we are gonna be doing. So there isn't too much else to say other than that, really. Need to get this one upgraded quite early on, just because we need to make sure that we are covered on round 24, which has a camo balloon. That is naturally the biggest concern that we have on the map, but at least so far that is. So we need to get that, and the strategy is going to be to get the Energizer, which is going to allow Brickell to become even stronger, but it's also going to allow the Pirate Lord, which we will be using to be using its ability rather frequently, which, well, it's going to be allowing for some damage. And aside from that, I want to bring the Impale for DDTs, and that should more or less be easy completion of this map. So things aren't really difficult yet, but the maps are getting a little bit harder, that's for sure. But the difficult stage is not here just yet, but we are past the very easy stage. So here you want to be a little bit careful. I want to make sure I don't make any mistakes. I'm gonna actually use the ability there just to be safe. Hot shots should be fine, and here we need to go submerged so we can pop the balloon, and then we will go back up, just because there's no real need to go down again, so we have some more popping power. Be doing the cannon ship as well, because it's pretty decent early, as well with faster shooting and double shot, to ensure that we are kind of covered here in the early rounds. There's double shot. There's no need to go for the bottom path Buccaneer, which I somehow did in my practice run of this, which was a bit different. I had more subs. I had like the sub commander and stuff, but sub commander is kind of useless when you don't go all in on the sub commander strategy and you don't have like a village and stuff to buff things. So yeah, I prefer this strategy. Useless is a bit of a strong word when you have Brickell, but still. I gotta say that I really do like Brickell as a hero. She is one of my favorite heroes, and she's definitely, for what she's doing, she's one of the best in the game. She has excellent abilities, and her synergy with water towers is just insanely big. Like, it's huge. Just very good. So Brickell is a really strong hero, actually. So don't sleep on her. Maybe sleep with her. Kind of saw that joke coming from a mile away. It wasn't particularly funny.
Can I help?
But yeah, I've been using different skins. I think I've used every Brickell outfit there is. But I like Brickell. Great character. Great character. Can't deny that. One of the better ones in the game. So what do we do now? I think we will be getting the monkey pirates, so we are covered against any sort of MOABs, and we have decent balloon popping power as well, so we can start saving up for the Energizer, which is kind of a hefty amount to pay. I mean, 30k is not incredibly much, but it is still a lot to pay for a tower early on. So you gotta be careful to ensure that we have enough power to take it down. We have some difficult maps, like 50, 51, 55 could be a difficult one. We have some difficult rounds. Not maps, but rounds. Been thinking too much about the maps, but... Anyway, so here's 40. That's not gonna be an issue, since we have the Buccaneer, but in general, the MOABs are not too much of a concern, because you have the ability to shoot faster. The only thing that can overwhelm us are the balloons, so something to look out for, but I'll try to greed up for the Energizer. I don't need to get anything more, but if it is necessary, I will place the Mermonkey down to get even more piers for the towers, as well as using the Mermonkey, the Abyssal Warrior. We're going to be going for the top half Mermonkey for the added piers, but also because, well, the Mermonkey, the top half, is very good against balloons, so it can do a lot of ceramic damage, so it's pretty decent, but so is the Monkey Buccaneer, especially with the first upgrade path there, like the top path. So I think we can allow ourselves to greed it out for the Energizer. We got 49. It's going to give us a lot of money. I think we're going to be getting 10k just in these few rounds. So we'll be getting Energizer in the 50s. And we should be covered because of the ability to hook in every MOAB. It's going to be a little close probably, and the Energizer doesn't do so much damage on its own, but we should be good. Everything should be hunky-dory. So, it's 48. As you can see, we're making a lot of money here. We're almost there, honestly. Could get the Pirate Lord early, too, but the Energizer is way more valuable. Like, it's more valuable the earlier you get it, just because of Brickell. So, because of that, it makes sense to get it early, right? So, we want to get it early so we can get Brickell as high level as possible. Preferably level 20. So that is what we will be doing, and getting her to 20 if we can, or as high as possible. I think we get her to 20 rather easily, but still, we will be getting her there. Let's see how we do against the normal MOAB. No problem, even without the ability. Just so you are aware that we are actually perfectly fine, because of these cannons, they do a lot of damage to balloons. Actually, like, one of the, strongest early upgrades is the, third upgrade middle path. I forget what it's called. I think it's just, it annoys me that I don't remember any of these names. Yeah, cannon ship. So that's a very good balloon upgrade, actually. It's pretty decent early. But anyway, we can hook every MOAB in if we want to. We can use the ability, but it's not necessary, as you can see. Here is 54. There's some ceramics in here. There's 2 MOABs. You can hook in one of them. I'm hesitating using the ability for some reason, because it's not necessary to hesitate, but here we are. So, there's the Energizer. Easy peasy. As I said, it's not particularly difficult yet. Now we place down the top half, so let's just start getting the Dweller, and then we will be getting extra range here for the Mermonkey as well. I do prefer to get the camo, because it's always useful to have that. Although it's not necessary technically, but I do want the extra range. That's what I meant to say, not the camo. I was not about to make the same mistake as I did in my practice run, where I just forget that the Energizer reveals every camo in, in sight. But anyway, we got the Abyssal Warrior there. So, it's pretty decent for for Bloons, and then we get the Lord of the Abyss in a little bit later on here. So here's 59, we hook in 60, and now we have Brickell's level 10, which is just so good. I mean, just look at this, it destroys the MOABs, and it just gets stronger and stronger. So it starts to destroy like COMGs later on. It's huge. So now, you can use some more abilities. You can use this again. That's why I like Brickell so much. Like, her ability, like her level 10 ability is just insanely strong. And of course, with water towers, the level 3 ability too is very good. So, and it just gets better. Just gets better and better. She's already level 10, so we are quite ahead of schedule for level 20. So things are looking good. Here you can see the bomb just destroys everything. Could hook things up in if we want to do. Hook things in, not hook things up. Alright, so let's hook in the BFB. Gonna come out soon. 65 is quite a difficult round actually on some maps, but not a cause of concern here. So let's get the BFB. Let's do this. We can use the ability if we want, but as you can see, there's no need at all to be concerned. So we're gonna be good. The biggest challenge are the TNTs. That's the only thing that can really do some damage. But we're gonna be good against that because we will be using the good old Impale, which pretty much just, well, impales the DDTs. Like, it makes everything way slower. So it is like a, like it does high damage while slowing everything down. So it makes it as easy as possible, honestly. So with the Impale, you don't really have too much of a chance to die anywhere here, which is good news, of course. Should be good. Like, it's very perfect synergy with Brickell. That's why the strategy just becomes so good. And the Pirate Lord too, the Energizer. Pretty happy with this. Pretty basic though. We're just using some water towers, and these work well together. So Luminous Cove is still gonna be an easy ride for us. So here is 72. Gonna hook in some more MOAB and use the ability. You don't have to do this at all, by the way, but you should definitely hook in the BFBs. There's literally no reason not to. And the same thing with the bomb, the Mega Mine or whatever. You just have to place it down. It doesn't take too much effort to do that. And you could also, of course, whenever you want to, use the naval tactics that allows you to attack even faster. Now we have arrived to the gimmick of this map and why it was introduced with the Mermonkey itself. So as you can see here, now that I have the first tier 5 Mermonkey, there is some sort of energy that is activated. So once you have every single tier 5 Mermonkey, what it does is to open this door, and that makes the map longer. I think that's what it does. So it's kind of like a buff because it makes the map longer. I think that's what it does. Alternatively, it gives you like more space for water towers, but I think there's a new path for the Bloons or something, if I remember right, but maybe I'm remembering wrong, and what's actually happening is that you just have like more water for your water towers. But in either case, it is like a small buff, you could say. Not a very significant one, but a buff is a buff, right? Anyway, just look at the Mega Mine there. It just destroys every single DFB. Now I think it's time to place down the Impale. I will be placing it closer to here. Like around here. And the reason I do this is because the DDTs are coming from the left, right? Because it's every other round, and 78 is an even number. So we can then, it means that round 95 and 99 will then come from the left. And that's why we have the Impale a little bit closer. And unfortunately, I don't have the ability to place down a village, like close to the Impale. Like here would be an ideal spot to maybe reach it. But that's fine. We don't really need the village buffs and the alk buffs and such. when we have Brickell. There's 79, of course you can place down whatever you want to place. Use the ability if you feel like it. Just destroys everything. Here's another BFB to hook in. Here, take a look at the ability. This COMG layer immediately destroyed. Put one in if you want. So the next thing to save up for is going to be the Impale, and then the Pirate Lord. Then maybe something else after that, but we're kind of running low in cash. Or I mean, running low on like rounds, I would say instead, like rounds to save up. But yeah, the Impale is gonna be really nice. Here's 81, easy. Like this is one of the easier maps I've had in a while. I guess I was sort of trying to make my life a lot harder in the last easy maps. So this feels extremely smooth in comparison to what I've been dealing with the last videos. I even died a few times. But here we haven't been remotely close. So this was a very optimized strategy, I think. So, okay, I'll take that. We can upgrade her to 16. I guess I'll do that just to give her a boost. Let's see after this level how much she gains in experience. Yeah, that is a huge chunk. Holy crap. Very valuable. Plays down another mine. Everything destroyed. And now we can afford the Impale, finally. That's gonna be massive, of course. Yeah, it annoys me a little bit. I would like to give the Impale more range, but what can you do? So now let's start saving up for the Monkey Buccaneer, the Pirate Lord, so we can hook everything in. It's not, probably, like, it wouldn't be necessary, I guess, to get it, but it would be nice to get it. Maybe an absolute 0 if we can, too, just to slow things even more down. But yeah, the Impale is going to destroy everything. We are pretty much good to go. And the thing that I love about Brickell is also her, like, the Mega Mine does insane bad damage, so we are good everywhere. Like, normally our biggest weakness would be bads because the Impale does little bad damage. So we wouldn't, like, the Pirate Lord doesn't do anything against the bad, right? So, and like, our setup would be terrible if it wasn't for our Brickells, so it's just perfect synergy all around. Like, we're covered, every weakness has been covered, really. So, pretty good. Another Mega Mine. 88, it's not an issue.
Loud and clear.
So she's level 17, so we will be getting there for sure to level 100. At level 20, I mean, by around 100. 88.
Loud and clear.
Got 89. Pop that down. This in. So now let's see the Impale in action as we get the very first DDT. Okay, that one is gonna come from the right. Just because it's an even number. But 93, 95, 99 is gonna give us an idea how we are doing against DDTs. Of course, this one I can just hook in.
There's something moving fast.
Okay, there we go. I couldn't hook in, actually. That is the Pirate Lord. I can do that. God. But we soon got the Pirate Lord, though. Very soon gonna get that, so that's neat. She's level 18 now, so... We can, of course, use the naval tactics whenever we want to do so. We haven't done that yet, or there's no need to do so just yet, but maybe you need to do so soon enough, because things are getting a little bit further. So let's do it now. Easy. Not a worry in the world. She's now level 19, and we're gonna get the Pirate Lord soon too. As you can see, the DDTs are completely dealt with easily by the Impale. Just destroyed. The reason why we want to get the top half is because of lead, by the way, not necessarily because of camo, because we do have that in the Energizer, but because of lead. We need that lead popping power there, which we get. Alright, so there is the Mega Mine. There's another Mega Mine. Perfect. And now we have enough for the Pirate Lord, so we can hook in 2 COMGs, which is absolutely crazy. It's such a huge amount, and we can already use it again. Like, with this Energizer, we can constantly be using the Pirate Lord. And let's see how we do against EDTs. Easy. Just look at this. Completely destroyed. And to add even more flavor to it, we could use more abilities, but that's it. I just wanted to show you how much we're destroying everything, despite not using the abilities. Here we can hook in a little bit of MOABs, use the ability again, some more stuff in. Guess I could grab the absolute 0, not that it's necessary. Yeah, it's not necessary to do so. Screw it, I'm happy with this. I can hook both of them in at the same time. Oh, that's crazy. Just 97 just destroyed like that. Here's 98. I can hook everything in. It's insane. Look at it, I'm just hooking all of the Bloons in. Mega Mine just destroying everything. Okay, there we go, for safety's sake. Something moving fast, well, not for long, because I'm hooking everything in, and there's 99 destroyed, and here for round 100, just use the Mega Mine once, and I think we need to only use it twice, no, 3 times. Alright, so now we start attacking. There we go, and run 100 as well is completely destroyed, and so is Luminous Cove on CHIMPS. So, perfect. Nothing particularly complex. You just have towers that work well together. So, Brickell, the Ice Monkey, Mermonkey, all this stuff. So, works very nicely together, and it ends in a very simple CHIMPS win for us here. So, very nice. There's not too much else to say about that. I hope you enjoy the strategy, the corny jokes, whatever. But nice to get this one out of the way, as we have started our journey into intermediate maps, as things are about to ramp up a little bit in difficulty, but nothing is particularly difficult just yet, despite the, you could say, I wouldn't say artificial increase in difficulty, but the technical increase in difficulty there. But that's Luminous Cove, so next time I believe is Sulfur Springs, and hopefully I'll see you guys then. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.